For years in the quiet woods of Michigan, a man lived a rather ordinary life. A life filled with family, friends, work, the day-to-day things you and I both know so well. But there was something else. Something he couldn't quite forget. You see, this man had seen something. Not in a movie, not in a dream, but with his own eyes. Something tall, something massive, something covered in hair. Is something that, if he told most people, would earn him laughter instead of belief, so he kept it quiet for a while. But that sighting, that sound, those moments when he knew he wasn't alone in the Michigan woods, they stayed with him. They nagged at him. Until one day he decided silence wasn't enough. Instead of hiding it away, he turned on a camera, he opened a microphone, and he began to talk. First a little, then a lot, about Bigfoot, about cryptids, about the paranormal, and about anyone else out there who had seen what the rest of the world said wasn't real. And do you know what happened? People listened. They listened because they too had stories. Stories of ghosts in their homes, lights in their skies, creatures in their backyards. People who were laughed at too, but with him, they weren't laughed at anymore. He became something else, a host, an interviewer, a storyteller. Now, he wasn't just a man who once saw a giant in the trees. 3 live shows a week. A podcast, Brunch with Bigfoot, and hundreds of videos, thousands of listeners. Thousands who no longer felt so alone. And when the lights go on in his Michigan studio, when the camera shines, another guest calls in from another corner of the world, he's no longer just a witness. He is the voice for all those who whisper, "I've seen it too." So today, when you hear a man from Michigan speaking boldly about Bigfoot, about UFOs, about ghosts, about mysteries the world isn't ready to explain, you remember that it all began not with fame, not with microphones, not with an audience, but with one man standing quietly in the woods, looking at something the world says doesn't exist. And now you know the beginning of the story. It belongs to a man known as Bigfoot Michigan Rob.
That would help to add myself. Broadcasting live. That's right, from Southern Michigan. This is Late Night with BMR. Thanks to everybody for coming on in. This is actually a special edition Late Night. I got the gang with me. Y'all know we're on a conference and we did some investigating and we're going to share the experiences tonight. So that's going to be the agenda. Thanks to everybody for coming on in. I got to let you all know the good old BMR is only just a simple 2 subscribers away from 6,000. So I plan on getting that tonight. If you're new, please subscribe to Bigfoot and Mr. Rob. Texas Front Porch, the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast, Paranormal Paul, or Paranormal Among Us. Slow down. We also have Dottie Show Says Stuff, Truth or Tinfoil. We've got a new show coming out with the gals. Brandi, Krista, Natalie, and Mary Lynn, who 2 of those, well, it's 3 of them are going to be here tonight with their new show, 4 Blondes, 1 Mystery, debuting, I believe, on a Thursday. Not sure what the date is. Go check them out and subscribe. Thanks to everybody for coming on. And really briefly, too, you guys, I want to thank everybody that showed up to the conference about my books. Bigfoot Michigan Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters, books 1 and 2. You can all find those on Amazon. Leave a review. Those folks who bought them at the conference, thank you. Go on Amazon. Leave me a review because it's all analytics these days, much like YouTube analytics. So, just write a comment, and that helps promote book sales. Little more bit of business, as y'all know. Tonight, you can become BMR Pirates. Arr, mateys. Join the many, join the few, depending on your point of view, of course. You get a picture of good old BMR sporting a bandana next to your name in the chat room. And of course, as we coined it over the weekend, the super chat is open. A great way to help support what we do around here. Donations not expected, but always appreciated. So with that, we are going to get on. I'm going to bring up, one of the usual misfits, Brandi. Hello, Brandi.
Well, hello. It's good to be back here on a Saturday night.
It is. It's always great to see you, of course. You know how our schedules are. We're missing other two little misfits, Krista and Monica. They got the night off. But hey, we got a great panel. It's always fantastic to see Brandi.
Yes, it's always great to be here.
Thank you. Ladies before gentlemen, because I got two other guys backstage. But I'm going to bring up, let's see, in no particular order. Well, I'm going to bring up Natalie. She's before Mary on the queue down here. Hello, Natalie. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are y'all doing?
We're doing
good.
great. Fantastic meeting you for the first time down there in Missouri. So
yeah, that was an awesome time. So much fun. Got to hang out with everybody.
Yes.
And we had some good times.
We did. It was a great time all around. We did a lot of everything. We compiled 20 hours of cool stuff in 4 days, 100 hours in 4 days. It was just like crazy on the run all the time. However you want to work the numbers.
It was crazy.
I slept 3 hours a night.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say maybe 4 hours for me a night, and then that was it. And then I got home and I crashed. I was a zombie for at least a few days, but it was worth every moment. And I was telling Paul that this past weekend on top 5 best weekends of my life.
Oh wow,
it was
awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I will say the conference was a huge hit and very successful, but we're not really talking much about that. We've been doing that all week, but we got some conference stuff to talk about regarding our ghost hunts and stuff. Mary Lynn Bast, I met Mary Lynn 2 years ago in Alabama.
Yes.
And I got to hang out with you a lot more in Missouri. So welcome to the show and thank you, Mary.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Yeah, Mary was driving around. She's very poor with directions, even with a GPS system, because she was coming back to the ranch with Tex and they wound up in Kansas City. I don't get it.
I wanted to go get another tattoo, so
yeah, and I had left to meet Tex back at the ranch, and after a while, I kind of looked at my phone. I said, "Man, he's been gone 45 minutes, and he left before I did."
So it was like, what, an hour 15 before we actually got back to the ranch?
Yeah, pretty close to that. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, because we were just talking away.
Yeah.
This looks like it's residential. This is not right.
Well,
I recognize a location, but not right.
Well, that is known with Tex. I was in Texas with Tex, and we had Cliff Barrick. I was in the back seat of his pickup truck with Cliff Barrickman and Ken Gerhard, and we were going to the conference. Tex took, instead of going right, he went left and took us 45 minutes outside of town.
Oh no.
And you see, kind of heavy hitters, right? I'll give them their props in the back seat. And it was kind of.
It sounds more like a GPS with Tex issue rather than me.
Mary, great point. I'm gonna have to bring that to Mr. Texas. Paranormal Paul, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? I am still trying to catch up on sleep and recover from last weekend. I still sleep like 3 hours a night. I'm still getting over that.
Yeah,
but
our internal clocks are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard from more than like 10 people that last week was like a top 5, like Natalie said, top 5 weekend. And that to me is just incredible.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. I had a great time. I love meeting all the people that I see in the chat room. Mickey G. Hi, everybody. I'm not ignoring you. Just, we got a busy show. And hello to everybody. Love you all. Thanks for coming on them. Another guy backstage, man. I've known Brian Bowden for about 5 or 6 years, but not personally. I got to meet him for the very first time. It's almost like we were brothers. It was like I've known the guy for 50 years. I'm gonna bring him up right now. Hi, Bryan. How's it going, brother?
It's good. I got my BMR
I see you
swag
do, man.
behind me right
Nice.
there. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's
explain
awesome,
to
brother.
him the other night, like this is what you should be doing. But yeah, I called for a text Uber and never rose. You know, still gave him like 3 stars. So like, you know, you're 2 hours late. Don't worry about it. Let's go sit and talk for a while.
That was another story. Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it was great meeting everybody. Loved all of you previously, but love you even more. And it was probably one of the best, happiest, fun, most laughter I've had in a very long time. So
Agreed.
and willing to do it again. And it got interesting on the way home too. That was a totally different thing, not planned, but yeah, it got really interesting.
Yeah.
Cutting through Alabama just before getting into Georgia. I'm trying to I have my camera pulled off the card, but I would tell you I saw a pterodactyl. And
Wow.
I was like, no, I didn't just see that. Maybe I'm just tired, but it sure as heck looked like one.
Wow.
I mean, they do have a lot of meth in Alabama. So.
Maybe it was airborne.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just float through the air.
Yeah. I mean, the roads are just 2 lanes out there, and it's really steep grade on the road. So they build them up. So if you go off the road, you're really going off the road. You got to call a wrecker. And I had somebody right up my rear, and I was like, I can't stop. I can't pull over. But I'm going to go. Hopefully I got it on that dash cam because I use that all the time, front and rear, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I heard you talking about that, and you know, there are Thunderbird sightings in that area. I mean, all throughout Alabama, actually, and Georgia. Yeah. So, are you sure it was a pterodactyl? I mean, could it have been a Thunderbird? Did you notice any feathers, or did it really look like?
Yeah, I've seen like the closest thing to a Thunderbird I've ever seen is a turkey vulture. And those have at least a 6-foot wingspan. They put their arms all the way out,
right?
And they use the sun's the UV to kill all the roadkill or whatever they're eating. This did not have feathers, and it wasn't as thick as what a Thunderbird would look like. This went from a smaller point, and it kind of grew into like if you took a triangle and just pulled it out more. Okay. It was darker on the top because I kind of saw a little bit of the top. And the bottom almost had it almost looked like frog skin. It was darker. It looked a little bit greenish from my vantage point, with some dots on it. But it was so quick. I mean, it was right past my window. I'm like, and the head was the giveaway though. It had a really long bill, and then it had something in the back short. Now I've been up close and personal with bald eagles and birds of prey before. Never seen anything like this. At all. So it was really, really cool. But my goal was to get out of Alabama and the dirty South alive. So that was where my mission was.
And as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I had New York plates, and I was just like, please don't run my plates. You're going to pull me over.
Maybe that bird saw the plates. It was like,
Yeah,
at least
get out of here.
Yeah, lock them up. So,
at least
weird.
At least you avoided Illinois.
Yeah, there's reasons for that too. Right. Yeah.
They have their own rules in Illinois. It just
oh yeah. My second worst state outside of Ohio.
I'll tell you, there was some moments coming when going into Kentucky, which is it's a really quiet state. I am the only one on this highway headed towards Missouri. And again, nobody else. And when you pull over to find out where you're going, you're like, okay, where am I? Oh, land between the lakes. Don't want to be here by myself. I investigate this stuff, but I also know that you need to have, a partner in crime, like someone behind you with a firearm. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is a bad Scooby-Doo episode. I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Thunderbird or the pterodactyl, I got something I just reminded of. I think I told Brandi this last year. There's a big creek that wraps around my entire community in which I live. And of course, I didn't have a phone on me, but I'm walking, doing my morning walk, this, that, and the other. It was springtime, and the creek on either side of the creek, the wood line goes back maybe 50 yards on each side where I was walking. So I stopped at this bridge on the creek just to hang out and kind of check it out, like I often do. And then from underneath the bridge, there is this bird that came out just gliding down the creek, and I kind of took a step back, like, whoa, because the creek at the width of this creek from the left to the right side is maybe 12 feet, and it just had these it was a dirty brown, and it had long legs that were kind of hovering atop of the creek, the water of the creek, trying to snatch carp, because a lot of carp runs through here during spring. But I must tell you, the thing that caught me was just the immense size of this thing, because literally it's the wingspan almost could have touched each side of the creek, shy maybe a foot and a half. Biggest bird I ever seen, and it was just gliding.
Wow.
So I looked up, and of course our friend Jason McLean talks pterodactyls. I'm not saying it was that, but then I looked up the turkey vulture. But you know, where I live, we don't really have any big birds. I mean, we have hawks. That's our biggest bird we have where I live, in the south part. So yeah, so I'm going to go with turkey vulture on that one. But then again, they're not here, so it was very weird thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. A couple of years ago, I was on a softball team, and we were practicing one night, and there was a cell phone tower right close to the field. It was right behind the church. And, you know, I didn't think anything of it. We were playing softball and having a good old time. And I look up, and first, there was nothing really on the cell phone tower. But then I look up again, and there's all these really huge birds up there. And I'd never seen anything like that before. And it was well before I was into this stuff. But I've never seen that around the St. Louis area. And we were in a pretty populated area right here. Oh, there's Mike.
Oh, there's Mike. Hey, buddy.
No.
Speaking of strange, weird things.
Yeah, right.
That's great.
Are you guys? Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Just tell me when you guys go live.
Okay, now.
It's gonna be a great show. But now? Oh,
Right.
Yeah, now.
do I need to put both hands up?
No, I think you're
Sure.
good. I think you're good. What
Well, maybe he can sign for us. Maybe he can be the sign. You know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but I'm only half deaf, so please only use one hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. How are you?
Yeah,
Very good.
Anybody take Tums?
Do I take Tums?
No.
No,
No.
she probably did.
Okay, I don't need any Tums right now, but thank
See,
you.
she did.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I have to deal with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
So Mike, were you training her in a gym today? I saw part of that video on Facebook.
Trying to kill me.
Yeah, we did train. We've trained twice. I also pooped twice today, so it's been busy. I've been busy.
Well, I think I saw a video of Mary Lynn where it says that you're trying to kill her. Is that true?
Well, I get by making her actually move a little bit. Yes.
My face was all red and I was
Yeah.
sweaty and
But you know what? Like, that's the thing, guys. Sometimes, like, she gets in, she doesn't have to do much. Just get in, find something that keeps you motivated, keeps you moving, right? And then just let nature run its course at that point. Learn about your diet, learn about what you're eating, and just try your best to find a way to stay active and get out of just being sedentary all the time. I think it's important, especially for people that are in the paranormal field. You know, we spend a lot of time on podcasts sitting down or looking at evidence sitting down, or, you know, we stay up late, which is hard on your sleep, hard on the way you eat. And so we start thinking about that stuff first, and we kind of look at our body second. And then, next thing you're in your 50s having heart attacks, taking Viagra. You don't know. So, take care of yourself now, folks.
Thanks.
I like that.
Thanks, Mike.
I like.
Mike's health book will be coming out next week on Amazon, and
I think that's good. That just motivated me to every 15 minutes on my show, we're going to get up and do jumping jacks. Everybody.
Just get a pedal underneath the table and just start biking underneath the table.
No.
Oh, Lord.
Think of it like this.
This conversation really took a left turn.
Huge left turn. And went over a cliff.
I think when you're 13, 14, you could be on the computer wanking it for, hours and hours. Time has changed.
All right.
Family friendly.
Oh my God.
That's why I kept it family friendly.
We don't have an R rating on here.
Very nice. Yes.
We're very at a PG-13 here.
Yes, PG-13.
That's
not what you were doing at 13. Not what you were doing at 13.
She knows. She knows. It knows.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate the. I'm going to take you up on certain things you brought up. Yes, exercise is the key to being in your 50s. That's for sure.
From longevity.
Yes. Your longevity.
Take care of your body. Take care of your body. Eat good. And I think a lot of that too is people think that it means you have to be on a hard diet, but you really don't. You just want to eat average, man. Just eat with some common sense. Watch, how much you eat and when you eat it, and just do your best to just take care of your body while you can. For all we know, this it's finite, right? Life is finite. Your body is finite. We spend so much time looking into the afterlife, and pretty soon, by the time we start counting the hours, they're already running out, so get to it now.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's your public service announcement.
That was great.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go do some push-ups.
Yeah. I mean, you could always get some cardio in running from Bigfoot.
Yeah. And also, if I die, I just want to let you all know, I'll come and visit you.
Yes.
I'll be looking for you.
Okay.
I will seriously come looking for you.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be visiting everybody. Yeah.
I'll leave a martini glass out in the bar for you.
Yeah. Here I am. I'm right here.
Definitely when I go, I'm coming back to haunt my friends, but in a good way. I'm going to be the cool ghost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably goosing people. Pinching their butt or something.
You never know.
You never know. Hey,
definitely going to hear a can of beer open.
Or somebody snoring.
That's going to be the residual haunting. That's the residual. Right there is the residual haunting, when you're just walking around here. You're like, oh.
Well, I have certain audio already queued, by the way.
No, we don't have to do that. I really don't care, Brian. I roll with the flow, man. No, you didn't know that I snored though.
I was jelly, man. I mean, you were just hacking away, and it was great. And I'm like, well this sucks for me. Let me record them. And then,
well, actually, though, really, to be honest with you, I'm glad that somebody made mention of it because, and even Natalie says, "Man, I was looking for a CPAP." I mean, was it that bad?
I was like, "Does somebody have a CPAP? Anybody?" And
did I like stop breathing?
Oh, well, God. The thing is that it was just you were snoring so hard that and then you would stop, and it was like, and it was almost like you'd stop breathing for just a hot second. It was like, okay, yeah.
Well, anyways, I'll be seeing the doctor, and I hate the doctor, but moving on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I don't know, Rob. That may cure your sleeping problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was thinking that when she brought that up, it was on my mind when she said that. Yeah. And I know she was
sleep test
joking, but I was like, man, maybe that's why I'm having these weird dreams all the time.
Well, Greg had surgery on his sinus cavity.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that he would snore so loud that, I mean, he couldn't, his poor wife was just like, what the hell? Then he had sinus surgery and boom, he barely snores. And I mean, if he does, it's a little bit, but he's like, it's so much better. Does he still snore, Paul?
He still snores. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
At least that one night he did.
He's
Yeah,
still
I mean,
snoring.
you were on your back too, so it doesn't help you, and you're too
Yeah.
low. Maybe
Yeah.
if you sat up, a little bit more on an elevation. But I was just thinking of the visual of everybody here doing a paranormal investigation with the CPAP machine on.
Oh.
Do you hear anything? I can't breathe. What are
I
you
can't
doing?
hear a thing over
know,
this, the roaring of
You're like
all the
Darth
machines
Vader.
going at the same time.
Yeah. I heard they do have a machine that you have to hook up, like with the mask. I heard they have something now where you can go mask free. I just started looking it up,
And they're really
today.
quiet now too.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, you guys, so we were all spent a lot of time at the conference. It was fantastic again, not to keep talking about how great it was, but it was. But also another thing that was pretty cool, a lot of us collectively and individually had some odd experiences, right? Whether it was at the museum or at the Emmaus Village where we all kind of checked out. So what I would like to do is maybe talk about those. I think our audience would like to hear them. I will just start first because this was very creepy. And of course I picked the wrong week to quit smoking this week, right? Because this revolves around my cigarettes. And maybe this was a message. So anyway, I get into town Wednesday morning at the museum with me and Krista, and we end up spending the night Wednesday night at the Ray County Museum. So going to bed at night with Mary was telling me, now if you have anything to do it now, because she turns on all the alarms. And they're motion sensors, so if you leave the area where I'm sleeping, it was a cool upstairs apartment area, you'll trigger all the alarms. I'm like, oh great. So I went out, had a cigarette before bed, and I went back into my area and the room, and I put the smokes down right next to me on this table, like a night table, with my phone, turned on my phone, turned on the alarm, all this, and I go off to sleep. And nothing through the night. I just had actually a pretty good sleep, actually. Woke up in the morning. I thought nothing of smoking. I don't smoke in the morning, oddly enough. So I just got up and drank some coffee, went back into the room because we're all going to go to that cool diner we all hung out at in the morning to eat breakfast, which is very good, by the way. So I go to grab my cigarettes. They're not there. And I know for a fact that they were there. I mean, 100%. So I'm like, wow, that's odd. So, and she has a couple cats. So I thought maybe they knocked them off the nightstand. So I'm literally on my hands and knees, kind of looking underneath the bed, and I'm kind of scouring the ground. There's nothing. So I happened to tell Mary and the girls, or some of the, I forget who was all with us at this point. Krista, maybe, I forget. Mary for sure, and Krista, and Aaron's. Okay, that's who it was. Aaron. So anyway, we go back to breakfast. We hang out, have breakfast. We go back to the room and go back in the room. I go up to get my stuff together to get ready for the day. Cigarettes are not there. In fact, I bought a pack in town on our way back to the museum. So all of a sudden, I get this yell. Somebody, Kathy yells out my name. Rob, come here. I'm like, what? So I go down, and it's like a maze in this place. And I'm just listening for a voice, and I get to what's that room, Brandi, where we all hang out at? The office?
The genealogy room.
Genealogy room. So she's standing at the doorway of the genealogy room, and she's looking in the room. She points, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I look, and there are my cigarettes sitting, but not flat. They're like standing straight up, sitting in there. And there's no way I put them there without setting off alarms. I'm not a sleepwalker. I mean, I guess I'm a snorer, but I know for a fact I'm not a sleepwalker.
And hence why they moved your cigarettes to move you to the new room.
You know, hey, man. And they were there, and there's hey, you guys, there's no way in hell I did it for one. Even a cat's not going to pick it up. Brandi, that's quite a distance, right?
Yeah.
To go from that room to there. I didn't do it. I know the girls weren't playing a trick on me. They're very honest, humble women. They're so sweet. So I'm like, I guess that was a paranormal thing. I don't want to say that, but hey, you can't explain it, right?
I'd say that's real paranormal. That's really, to physically move something that has weight to it and put it someplace else is like major league paranormal.
Yeah.
I met you guys at the museum that day, and Chris is like, I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm like, no, don't. The minute I walked in, I got the chills, and I know my certain tells, and it was like super. As soon as that front entrance, and we're walking around, and that's why, like, when on Paul and Natalie's show, I was mentioning I went into that schoolroom, and I caught this on the right hand side in the back. There was 3 desks. The furthest desk was a young boy, and he was playing with the pigtails of the girl in front of him, and she turned around, and they were getting it. Then they got in trouble because I felt and saw this teacher, big lady, and she was not happy about the tomfoolery. So I was like, okay, cool. And I told that to Krista at one point. The one room I did have a problem in, and I felt a lot of different things in different rooms. I felt bigger chills, more impressions. When I went to that World War I room, I felt the pride of the greatest generation. When we had to do this was saving the world. And I was about to say that, and then all of a sudden I had the worst, like my heart was fluttering, and I'm like, I need to get out of this room now. And I walked, as soon as I went past the threshold, everything settled down. Never had that experience before. But clearly someone was trying to get my attention. Bad idea. Been there with the whole heart thing. I'm good. I don't need another one.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun. But I think they were just trying to, say something about, it was like heart and soul to do what they had to do. And they just did it. They just went into battle and did some crazy stuff. So it was really a powerful museum. I liked every aspect of it, even the basement where, the guards were and then the prisoners. Cool place.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary, let me ask you, I'll skip over to you, because I know when I first met you in the museum, you felt kind of odd immediately in a couple of rooms. Or am I mistaking you for somebody else?
Nope. I was just walking in the door. It was off. And it was just, I could feel the energies. There was a lot of sadness, and I could hear crying. And then I kept hearing a woman's voice. And then even going down into the basement, they were testing me to see what I could feel and see down there. And all I did was put my hands up, and they said that they hadn't announced that yet, but they had found arm shackles down there. And it was something that is just, they had abused this guy that was down there, and just not good. And then also found where the portal is, or it was at one point, and I think they had cleared that out, but the portal is back. So I was able to show them exactly where I felt that. And Krista was with us and said that it was exactly right there.
Wow.
Wow.
Brandi, you've been there a lot of times with Krista. That's the first time you heard of a portal?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I knew there was one that existed
you did? Okay.
before. Yeah, but they made sure they closed that, and all was well. Strange thing that happened to me. Now, I was there for the entire ghost hunt, and something was strange. Now, I spent most of my time, honestly, it was going to be in the it's in the Native American room, and across from that is the Civil War room. So I spent most of my time in the Civil War room, but we had Lauren and Carmen from Haunted Souls Paranormal. They were there with us to help me and the other group, Terry Mosby and them out, to make sure everything was okay. But we were doing the Estes method, or the Estes method, whatever you want to call it. And she was listening, just listening. And I was asking questions. She could not hear me, believe me, because I can hear the static that was coming through, her earphone. So I know she had that up loud. She could not hear me. And I was asking questions, and I'm getting really silly, funny, lighthearted responses. And I'm like, okay, this is nice, And then next thing you know, more and more people started gathering up in this room. And finally, it ended up to be like 12, probably about 11 or 12 people ended up in this room while I'm asking questions. And I mean, this thing was giving me the business. I mean, I would say something sarcastic. It'd say something sarcastic right back to me, People would stand up and say, where you going? Somebody else would stand up and say, sit down. I was like, okay, wait. Okay. So I thought, okay, let's try this. I said, I'm going to count some numbers. And when I stop, you tell me the number that comes next. So I started and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, and I stopped. Next thing you know, it blurts out 88, 89, and then it laughs. It's ha, 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 and it says, gotcha.
Oh, funny.
Wow.
So that was something that never really, happened in there, because I have been there so many times. This is like a second home to me, that you kind of learn the personalities of the spirits that stay there on the constant. So this one was new. This was something new. Now, Mary Lynn, this comes back to the portal thing, that I think that some are coming and going.
Yeah.
Well, we had taken a break because I find it good after, a very intense, session, that we need to take a break. Everybody needs to go get some water, use the bathroom. It's good to reset. And then we went back in and it was real quiet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided we're going to go down the hallway. Now, 2 people that were on the ghost hunt, they actually were brand new. This is their very first ghost hunt. And they were down towards that one specific room with the classroom. So I'm kind of looking at Holly, which she is from After Dark Paranormal with Terry Mosby. And I said, you know what? I said, you stand over here. I need a pro over here on this side next to the classroom. And I said, I'm going to sit here in front of Carmen while she's on her headphones, because she's unaware of what's happening around her. And I said, and I want the newbies down the hall. I want them down that way, away from what's happening here. So as she started in and I'm asking questions, well, I'm not getting any answers at all, but I'm getting very harsh comments that I can't repeat. And I'm like, this is something way different than what I'm used to. Something that hasn't been here. This is something's happening, and it's basically a nasty. So I said, okay. And then all of a sudden I turn and I'm looking past Holly in that classroom, and I see a shadow or something move right in there. And as I was talking, I stopped mid-sentence and I'm looking at it. And then next thing you know, Holly's like, I just heard a growl. And I said, okay. She goes, I don't feel comfortable having them down here. I said, 100%. So we moved everybody back down to the Civil War room that we were in, and across from the Native American room, thinking, okay, this is a good spot. We had, a really good conversation. Somebody lighthearted was in here, and everybody really enjoyed it. But some of the guests had left, and there were just a few of us left over. But as we were sitting in there, things started to change. You could actually feel the change in there, and we weren't getting the responses. Nobody was talking. We understand that they get tired and they slow down. We all get it. They run out of energy. Mm-hmm. But then, there was something else coming through. And then, then we heard a growl coming from down the hallway. And I'm like, what is happening here? So we're all sitting there. Now, most of us are what we would call a pro, meaning that's not our first investigation. We are well into our way of investigating. And we're watching it, and we're seeing this light that kept coming around, and there was no reason for this light to be moving whatsoever. We had a bell down the hallway that kept going off. We had a REM pod that kept going off, and it was all out in the hallway, and you'd have to walk past each one to get to us. So, like, the bell would go off in the REM pod, and then, it was right there. And then you get the REM pod, then the bell, and then you knew it was down the hallway. So it was following this path going back and forth. But as we're sitting there, we heard that growl again, and I'm like, what is this? This is something way new, way new. So we're all staring at the doorway. And the next thing you know, right on the bottom half of the doorway, you just seen this head just peek its head around the corner and just go back. And then it'd stay there, for a few seconds, then it'd peek back around. And then it did that about 3 or 4 times. And then it's just like we weren't getting anything on the Estes method. There was nothing going off in the room. So we knew that it was basically out in the hallway and would not come in. Because I kept saying, you can come in if you're nice. And I kept repeating that. And so it never did come in. Finally, we decided to give up. And we made sure that all attendees and everybody went downstairs. And Carmen and I were coming down the staircase, the one by the genealogy room, to be specific, that the big staircase, the main staircase. And as we were coming down it, she was in front of me and I was the last one coming down the stairs, and I stopped. And then you heard footsteps running down the stairs right behind me.
Mm.
And she flips around and looked, and I turned around and I looked and I said, oh, I said, you better get upstairs right now. I said, you don't come down here. I said, you're not allowed down here. So anyway, we went and told Kathy, which she is the curator of the museum. She is the full-time caretaker. Well, I tell you what, before she went to bed last night, she went up those stairs and she told it a thing or two. Go get your upstairs. Don't you come down here. And she gave it the business. Said she had a problem. She didn't have one problem for the rest of the night.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. So she was upset because this is something really new. So we're making a plan that we're going to have to go back and really figure out what's happening in there and what's in there. And we're going to have to figure out how to close whatever opened this thing.
It from what I'm getting, being there, and on that floor where the schoolroom is, just past. You came out of schoolroom, you went left. You can't really go too far left. There is something on multiple floors that is connected, and it's almost like a portal. I mean, an elevator, but it really starts in the basement. There's an item in the basement that is what's allowing the portal to open, and it kind of goes straight up in that area.
Yeah.
That's why it's going multiple levels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I just see it in my mind's eye, and that's where I'm seeing it. And it's in that room in the basement. It's before, I forgot where we came down because I don't know. We came down one staircase and it kind of opened up into a bigger room. And then to the right of us was a lot of
the jail cells.
Yeah. Well, no, on the other side of the, like opposite of the jail cells, there's a bigger room, and it's in there or it's behind that room someplace.
Oh,
but it's connected to an object. That's why you're never really closing it. You have to kind of remove the object.
I asked her, well, it had been fine for a good many years. Right. And I asked Kathy, did you receive anything new? And she said she hasn't received anything new to the museum in a few months. So I'm like, well, I don't know. Because, we always talk about people walking around with things following them, attached to them, and they may have left it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's another thing. I didn't hunt that night. I hung out in the genealogy room and had everybody else doing, their thing. It was just too crowded. But I personally felt, and I didn't want to ruin it for anybody. Personally felt there were some people there that really shouldn't have been there. And they may have had attachments to them that left some stuff there.
Yeah.
Relating to their own personal world.
And I mean that this is the first time that I've ever experienced this particular. Well, actually, the one that was very nice and sarcastic, and I love playful ghosts. They're a lot of fun. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
But that one was new, and then this one that wasn't nice was new. So those are two that I have never encountered before. And like I said, when you spend a lot of time, like we do there, you kind of learn the mannerisms, you learn their personalities, what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. But there are other spirits that didn't come out at all that I normally run into. So I'm wondering, you know, we're going to have, this is a mystery. This is something that we're going to have to figure out. I mean, are they hiding? What's going on?
They
So
may
I
have
think
been
the thing
hiding.
that came through the portal is what's holding them or keeping them back. It's almost like they're afraid of that.
That's what
Yeah,
I was thinking.
This isn't a good thing to have there. I don't think it's overly bad, but it's something that's like kind of like when mom and dad just look at you and you're like, oh crap, you know, that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's just an
Or like
a-hole. I'm sorry, it's an
Yeah,
a-hole.
well,
No, it's the truth.
it's
Um,
something. It's kind of exciting and something new to explore, whether it's negative or not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I might when I stepped away. I don't know if you brought this up. Didn't you or Krista tell me that years ago you guys had excised a really bad one?
Yes,
Hanging out there.
yes. We had to bring in the big guns for that one, and it took some doing, but yeah, it got done. I mean, it was a process, but it got done, and I'm just afraid that something or someone else has opened up something, and they had no clue what they were doing, or you know, and is about the portal. But you know, this other thing. I don't know. I think this is going to be another problem.
Well, the
There she
room where
goes.
the right outside,
Aaron says, I think it's an attachment to someone there. And very well. I mean, Aaron, you can tell us, have you guys had any problems since then? Has it kind of disappeared? Or, you know, I mean, have you heard anything else, any growls or anything? Or, you know, just a grumpy ghost? I mean, have you had anything else? Because that would lead me to believe, you know, that it did come with somebody.
Yeah. There were people in there, like I said, that this is why we use our psychic for our group when we do the ghost stuff, anything. And they will go look at everybody that's going and they'll see if their constitution is well enough to be there. And we've turned a lot of people away and you know, we've gotten a ton of BS from it, but it's for their safety and our safety.
Yeah. Well, she said she's not been there and Kathy's not mentioned anything. So maybe, like I said, it could have been that particular thing could have been brought with somebody.
I think it was brought with somebody.
Yeah.
Because we had experienced something negative downstairs in the basement.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the lady that we were with, and I apologize, I don't remember her name, that was with our group. It basically chased her in the room. And she felt it. And I stood in the doorway, keeping it out in the hallway while they were doing their thing. And I felt this spirit behind me. I mean, I was ice cold, like grabbing hold of me, almost like, you know, protect us. And then it was whatever it was out in the hallway and it was just negative. And I don't mean like evil, by no means, not like demonic or anything like that. It was just, you felt like there was anger, there was frustration, there was overwhelming just sadness. It was just negative, very, very negative.
Yeah. Well, you've got to understand that this place is very near and dear to me and Krista. And, because Chris and I let our kids go in there by themselves. They ghost hunt all around by themselves. We just let them go. So when something like this shows up, we kind of take it personally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, no, this is like, you know, if you are going to take your family on a ghost hunt, this is the place to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everywhere that we went, it was wonderful. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. There were some sad stories. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was very, very sad.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just like very historical, very, you know, spirits that were forthcoming, just really an amazing, truly amazing experiences. And then we got to meet Mabel, who's in the kitchen there, baking biscuits and apple pies, and she's a spitfire.
Bread.
Oh, she's hilarious. I could have stayed.
She's
in that
my new
room.
BFF.
Totally. And then she was like, "Okay, you can leave now," because she was busy cooking. She's like, "Bye." I was like, "Okay."
Chris
Usually
has
she
said
doesn't like
someone.
the men in there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she
No.
was spilling tea. She was spilling tea. She was like, I don't
She-
like my husband, and she's a slut, and this one's this and that. Oh, she didn't even care. I was like, I could stay here all day.
And that's what was coming through Jilly, what the spirit was saying. That wasn't Natalie ad-libbing that. It was what she was
It
actually
was
saying.
word for word.
Yeah.
That's the room Chris has said, I'm going to leave you in here for a while. And I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Grandma's kitchen. Yeah, she's
Yep.
she's a hoot though.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
and
She's a
surprisingly, I
hoot.
didn't have
Yeah.
anything because I was actually being very polite. Said, hey, ma'am, I just finished some work. May I have some food, please? And being very polite. And I got an image of, I want to say it was like my grandmother. She would smile when you do the right thing. And it was almost like, yeah, you can have something, you know,
You can have
versus,
something.
yeah, something.
But she does not like her husband.
No.
She does not like him.
Well, she doesn't like men in her kitchen.
They didn't
So,
want him
I
in the
mean,
kitchen. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
In
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
time period. I had to ask you guys. Brandi probably would know. I don't know. I'll just throw this out to everybody. What's so cool about the museum? There's history. Every room is a certain time in history. In the past, you know, every room, whether it's Civil War, First Nations, this, that, and the other. I'm wondering, do you think? And again, I'm kind of a novice with the old paranormal thing, for the most part. Do you think these entities mesh together or intermingle, or is it all everything is just separate? You know, is it a big old paranormal party?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they're all living their own lives. They
Okay.
don't see each other. They're on a different plane of the realm. You know what I mean? They're all different levels, and they don't intermingle with each other. I'm sure there are some that are in the same era that may, because sometimes you do hear talking, you hear conversations going on. There may be some like that, but most generally, I've never captured anything that I would say that they were interacting together.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. And then Greg got scratched, which I brought up. I was thinking about this week because it was just really weird because he got scratched. It was like two, and then he was bleeding in two areas. It was just very bizarre. Then I thought about it. Right before that happened, we were in that main hallway on the second level. And we were standing there just kind of observing. And Greg decided to sit down on the floor up against the wall. And I brought out my therm just to see what it would pick up. I pan around, and as soon as I get to him, he's flipping me off like double bird. I'm like, oh God, yeah, of course,
That's great.
Greg would do that. Well, I think they didn't like that. Somebody didn't like that.
The teacher.
And that was like teaching him a lesson, like, don't you do that to her. That's how I kind of felt. Don't know, but it was just like.
So tell me this, were you down by the room that had the oars in it?
The oars?
No,
Yeah,
we were
both
upstairs.
oars.
No,
Oh,
we were
boy,
upstairs.
That's a creepy story.
We were upstairs in the hallway where the schoolroom was.
Yeah.
Oh, in that hallway, you weren't one back. You were right in that hallway.
Yeah. And actually, when they showed the video, when you see him, it's as if someone grabbed him like this. You can see there's marks. Like it looked like a really weird mark, a long piece grabbing him, and it fits exactly there. Like if you've ever been with your friends and give them 5 fingers on their back, it raised up, and you can see it. Go watch the video again, and you'll see semi finger or handprint, and it all matches where the scratches were. So if that was a lady, and she was like, grabbing a child that would grab by the shoulders, and you dig in with a nail because it looked like nail marks and pull it up, that would explain everything.
Yeah. Well, you were down in that same area that we were having all that activity that night.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to say, evil, because sometimes they're just not evil. They're
Yeah.
just nasty. They're just nasty people, you
Yeah.
know. And we were getting that from down that hallway. So you know, if it was down that hallway, yeah, we experienced that's where everything was happening. That was kind of
Yeah.
nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Was it an actual growl or was more of a grunt like that? Because
To me, it sounded
Was it-
like both. You know what I
for
mean?
some reason, and I did have I got this Western thing. I love the fact that Jesse James and all those Bad Bart and whoever was there. I mean, those were no joke people. And if they get arrested and they're in those jail cells that have windows with no bars on it, who the hell's thinking of these things? They could just be, frustrated that they're there and they're not going to take anything from a woman given the time period. So they could be real nasty with you. More so if you got to put them in, like if you have a ghost from that time period, some of these guys were real bad boys and they didn't care if you're a woman or a child or whatever.
Mhm.
So, I'm just was wondering about that because it kind of gets that feeling. And I was wondering if Mary Lynn
Yeah, like
had
I said,
like that.
what's going on down there is kind of a mystery. Now, Holly was closer to it. She said a growl. Now, she would have told me it was more like a grunting sound, but she said it was an absolute growl. From where I was sitting, it could have been either or. You know how that the sound's weird. So but it did not sound very happy. So I'll have to wait and find out exactly from Holly. I'll have to ask her directly what it was or what it sounded like more. But yeah, it was very strange. Like I said, for me and to go there all the time, and I'm always interested in what's going on. And like I said, and you learn who these spirits are. You know their personalities. You know what they're going to do. You can even call them out by name. And here we are, and then we're getting these new spirits in there. And I mean, that one that was just joking and making fun of me and sarcastic, and that can stay. That can absolutely stay.
fun.
I
Keep that one, though.
I will welcome that 100%.
Yeah.
The other one, not so much. I don't like the ones that scare people.
Yeah.
Now, especially since it's a family-friendly place, and
Yeah.
your first experience, you definitely don't want to be, shocked or scared because that
Right.
turn everybody off.
Right.
Look at all the people that come across a Dogman or a Bigfoot that scares them. They want nothing to do with
Right.
it. They don't go back in the woods for 20 years.
Mhm.
Unfortunately,
But then they tell me about it, and I'll go.
well, that's our job. That's our job.
I'm
We
with you.
love doing. We love being scared out of our minds in some instances.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. What about you, Paul? What was your experience?
I had a fantastic time. I wanted to walk around with Julie and Natalie all night that night, and just to see what Julie would pick up. And we got some fantastic stuff coming through her. Some personal stuff that she had happened to her. Her grandfather came through from World War II and everything, and that was pretty darn awesome. And we went in the desert storm room, and everything that she's saying that they're showing her, carrying their dead bodies or their dead buddies through the battlefield and stuff. And I guess somebody asked them how he died or what happened to him, and he stepped on a landmine and stuff. And just hearing that, it's just these spirits that we encountered. We didn't, outside of the basement and the one that scratched Greg, we didn't really come across anything terribly negative. It seemed like just wanted to come in and share their story, apologize for doing what they did, why did we get unalived and stuff like that. And it was really, really enlightening to me that even in the afterlife, people are wondering, why did this happen to me? Why are people so rude and so mean and do horrible things like this? It was just fantastic. And then to see the thing with Julie and her family was just incredible. It's just incredible. Yeah. And, you know, I've been there, you know, as much as you, Brandi, but I've been there quite a bit. You know, I think 4 or 5 times or whatever. And, you know, every time I walk through there, it's fine. I really don't get any heebie-jeebies or anything, except when I go down that one hallway down there with all the mannequins. Every time that gets me. Every single
They
time.
scare you. That's the jump scare. You swing around and bump into
the
one of them,
mannequins
you're
scare
like,
you.
oh, I'm sorry. And you're like, oh, it's a mannequin.
Yeah.
You guys
it
know
just the energy of the place just changes when you walk down the threshold of that hallway.
Yeah.
It's just be all get out.
Yeah, and y'all know.
So go down there. It's fun.
And y'all know how much I despise clowns. Yet I have a picture of that clown laying, you know, in that room on my phone.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
was in Emmaus. I
Yeah,
wanted to get
okay.
your picture with that one though.
No,
Well,
I
yeah,
was not
that's
getting
true.
close. 15 feet away was just fine.
Right.
I zoom in on my
Yeah.
phone. Yeah, you know.
So, okay. So, Natalie, you have to explain this about when we went to the village. We all get out of our vehicles and we're starting to walk to the first building. Mr. Greg Ogles said what?
Oh my God. He was like, there's somebody in that building.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, there's not. He's like, no, I just saw there's somebody walking on that building. There's somebody there. And you guys are like, no, there are people that say that they see it. There's an entity that's an apparition going back and forth. People see it all the time. They've called the police because they think somebody's broken in. The police get there. There's nobody there. Greg goes, I would bet money. I'm telling you. And he was adamant. He was like, there is somebody in there. We get in there. There's nobody there.
Nobody in there.
No one.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
Nope. He was like kind of getting agitated because
Yeah.
we kept telling him there's nobody in the building.
He was getting frustrated and agitated, and he was like, no, I'm telling you, there's somebody in there. I just saw them. And you're like, no, that's the entity that goes back and forth.
And I don't know if it's because it was daytime. You know, when we got out and we're looking at it, he didn't probably expect to see a full-bodied apparition in the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we go up there at night, and I said, I want to investigate that floor.
Yeah.
And so I go in there and I'm like, listen, and I asked them, I said, I want to go in there alone. And I want to see if they're going to, you know, just feel more comfortable with a woman alone. And I'm okay with that. Go in there. I introduce myself. They're out in the hallway. And I'm like, I'm talking. I'm like, okay, this is your opportunity. If you'd like to say anything, I'm here. And I'm not getting a whole lot. And I'm like, okay, this is your last opportunity. Please let me know what I can do for you. Nothing. I said, okay, I'm going to go. I'm like, last chance. I'll be around. I go to walk out, and there's this bathroom has holes in the ceiling, and that hole in the wall that's squared out that goes into the attic. And I go to walk, and then all of a sudden from the hole, I hear, and I go, what? And I walk over with my light and my camera. I'm like, what? And I hear it again. And I look over, and there's a cat sitting in the attic.
Yeah.
Looking up at me. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Kitty! Literally scared the shiggity out of me. They all come running from the hallway because they don't even know what's going on. And I'm like, it's a cat. And this cat had a collar, very well fed, very friendly. And I was like, we're done. There is no way. I'm like, this cat, none of these spirits are going to come out with this cat around us going, meh, 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 meh. So we went all the way downstairs and moved to the next building. But I was like, of all things, it was a cat. And then the next morning I walked over just to do a little bit of filming in the yard in front of the building. And here that comes that cat. I'm like, oh God.
Oh yeah, I saw you over there petting the cat.
Yeah.
When you and Greg went over, Paul and BMR went into town for a bit, and I stayed over. We were sitting in those chairs most comfortable chairs ever. Thanks, Paul. On the other side by the Airbnb. And we had no clue where, like, they were you guys were gone for such a long time. Like, where the hell are they?
I know.
And that's when I
Might
we
have taken a
heard
wrong turn at one point.
Yeah, like
It wasn't Texas' fault because he was driving me back to Texas.
Yeah, we did. We took.
One of them left over there at the pine tree.
We had to try. We had to try to find this fire starter, and there was like nothing in town.
Exactly.
And
So
we never used it, by the way.
It's in my garage as we speak.
Major tree knock, like literally right behind that house, and it was no more than, what would you say, 50 yards from like where we parked the car to the back. It was loud, and I'm like, tree knock.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, we can see over this sea of, like, I guess, trees and branches, whatever, to the other side, which is pretty far away where this asylum is. And we got a type of response from the far right. And I'm sitting there, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm just, at one point, Chris is like, where the hell's BMR? Where did these guys go? We never heard, you guys didn't come back. I guess you drove right there.
We drove right to the thing.
And at one point I heard you, Rob, and then I heard Paul say something. So I'm like, I think they're on the other side. But that whole time when we were hanging out there was weird lights, because we're seeing it from a different vantage point. We're like at base camp, and all these horror movie things. We're at base camp, and I'm like, there's a bright light behind you, little lights, and it's not like fireflies. It's bigger than, I don't know. It would be bigger. It would be like a quarter of a dime or something.
Yeah.
And it would just pop up at one spot, and then it would go to another spot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of unusual. But then you guys had a couple of good experiences on the other side of that, that area.
Yeah.
So that could have been something bigger than that in a different form.
I want to interject something before I forget. You remember yesterday, Brandi, I gave you guys a $24.39 super chat. And
Yes,
I said
you
there's
did.
significance behind this.
Yes.
Yes, because now I don't know where this came from. I don't know if I seen this at the Emmaus Village or not, because I will tell you this: when I got home Monday night, Tuesday night, I started, I was dreaming. I had a lot of dreams about this place. Nothing eerie or creepy, but I remember a dream seeing 2439 on the wall of the village. One of it was where the kids, I think it was like the kids, like the high school kids that signed it.
Yeah, on the second floor, I think it is.
Second floor.
Yeah, where they
And
were.
I think I saw that during the daytime, and I saw one other place too, and I knew it was this place in my dream written on the walls. And for the life of me, you guys, I can't honestly say if I saw the numbers physically when I was there, but I don't know the significance behind these numbers, because 2 nights in a row I've dreamt those numbers. So I said, hell with it. I'll give him a $24.39 super chat. By the way, everybody, everybody is open.
The super chat is open.
Super chat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Super
chat's
so
open.
it's probably
What I'll
nothing.
do-
It's probably nothing, but I don't know. Numbers in the paranormal, I think they mix somehow.
Well, what I'm going to do, because this could be significant too, is they have Bible verses written up there. So I'll go look to see if I can find a particular Bible verse. And if that's sticking with you, you may want to read it. So I'll let you know which one it is if I find it.
Because, it's funny.
You may want to
because
play it
my
in the
mind
pick
is
4.
It's like a verse in my dream. Sorry,
No,
Bryan.
just play the pick 4. Just
Yeah,
trust
pick
me.
4.
Yeah, pick 4.
Pick 4.
I'll do it tomorrow right before the Lions.
Anytime you have numbers like that, play them. But you're right. It could be a Bible verse. The only weird thing that I got in that village while walking through, I loved the historical factor of it. I wanted to touch the keyboard that was there, and something said, don't do it, because you don't know who you're going to upset, whatever. But we went in that guy's, we went, I don't know if it was a second floor or that floor where the clown is, not sure.
Yeah.
There was the room to the right where they locked him to the floor. Ed, Dan, or something like that, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And I kind of saw this massive individual. I don't want to say things on investigation till after, because I don't want to, put that in someone's head and then have someone go with it.
Right.
That's why
right.
I'm very, very quiet about it, and we do it on the recap. But I said, I'm like, I was thinking, like, if you locked me up in this place, I'd be pissed off too. You have every right to be pissed off.
Right.
And I kind of got this guy was big, and he was standing there, dark hair, and it looked like he had something over his face, almost like that Hannibal Lecter thing. And he just calmed down, and I think I got this vibe like, oh, you get it, you understand. Like, yeah, dude, you had every right to pound the walls, put your head into that metal. I felt for this guy for one moment, and it was weird to have that feeling while you're there.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you guys didn't get to do is we never got underneath the main building that we first walked into there, which would have been the admin building. There is a basement to that runs the full length with
Yes, we
tunnel.
did.
We did.
Oh, did you do
Yes,
it?
we did.
Yeah.
Yes, that was creepy.
We went. Yes,
We got
we had
growled at.
some very good
We
stuff.
got
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, did it get crowded down there? Because sometimes it gets crowded.
Yeah, we got growled at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, at first, I thought it was Greg's stomach. And I was like, Greg, is that your stomach?
Yeah,
He's
his,
like,
his
"No."
stomach was talking a lot that night. But yeah, it was definitely growl.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Paul and I walked that one night. I think the very first time, I think we walked that, Paul. And it was creepy then, even though we weren't hearing anything. We weren't looking for anything, honestly. We were just trying to look at the lay of the land, and just, find out.
Yeah.
Now, they don't spend a whole lot of time down in the basement, but we were going through and finding lights on everywhere. And nobody had been in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, we found
You know
lights
what? There
on
were
as well.
a lot of lights. That was
Yep.
So we just kept going by and flicking them off each time, just turning them off.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what was crazy about the lights was pretty creepy, crazy. And you guys, as we were all there, I was using those rods, right? Asking the weird questions. And you guys,
the dowsing
we
rods.
the dowsing rods, we distinctly heard that. And it was like down in the basement, and you can't hear the outside from there.
No.
Yeah.
That was with us.
And it's just, I got this feeling that this man was in there and he was just like, this is just my space and I don't want anybody near me. It wasn't evil or anything. It was just like, listen, this is my space. I don't like people around me. Just leave. And we did. We asked him, are you growling at us? And we got a distinct yes. Yes, I am growling at you.
Yeah, because I wonder
I got
what,
that.
I mean, I seen that, what the remnants of what looked like offices, the laundry facility, stuff like that. So I'm like, what is down there?
Yeah. Yep.
Ralph, I got that clip on here if you want to watch, if you want to see it.
Oh, you got the clip, really?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it in? Did you throw it on here already?
Yeah, I got on this clip number 2 if you want to put it on there.
Yeah. Well, we'll play it, everybody. Yeah. Oh, God, that's me. Jeez. Okay. Very good.
Oh, that's me. Well, I haven't seen this, so I'm super excited.
I'm here.
All right. I'm going to play it now, everybody. Here we go.
So what they're going to do is you can talk through them. When you cross them, it means yes. And when they go outward, it means no. Do you understand? You want to talk to us?
We aren't here to hurt you. Because you crossed the rods, if you understand.
They move their energy back. Do you want to come talk to us, please? We're very kind and respectful. We just want to have a conversation with you. Can you move back in, please? Cross means yes. Outward means no. Can you cross them, please? There we go. There we go. You can do Use your energy to cross them. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Are you a patient here?
Was that your stomach?
Oh.
I just heard a growl.
It was a growl. I heard it too.
Were you a patient?
Do you like us being here?
Are you having a hard time communicating with us? Remember, cross means yes, outward means no.
Are you mean?
Do you like us being here?
Are you still here with us? Was that you that growled?
That is a yes. Why did you? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for answering. Thank you for answering. We appreciate you answering. Thank you. Do you like to scare people? Is that why you growled at us?
Can you growl for us one more time?
It's almost like he's saying, I'll do what I want to do.
Do you think that you're in charge?
Do you want us to vanquish you from here?
Are you stuck here?
Do you like it here? Did you leave?
I'm almost getting the sense that he's like, oh.
Pretty cool.
So right before Greg said or asked his question, you could hear like a weird breath. I don't know if that was any one of us, but it was really kind of a weird breath that came through.
You need to listen to that entire thing with headphones on.
Mm-hmm.
I have ear monitors that go in,
Yeah.
and I'm the guy for the group that gets all the stuff. You had a female say something, and there was the growl. You were talking, and I know your voices, all of your voices. That was a female, and you'll hear it. It's not that far after the growl, and when you ask Greg, and then a little bit after that, I'm like, "There's a woman there." I heard her, and she had a little bit of a laugh almost.
Yeah, because Natalie was the only female.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And Greg has a distinct voice.
Mhm.
You know, all you have your own distinct voice. There was a female in there. I know what I heard.
Right.
This is
Right.
where like I use a program called it's like a spectrometer for all my stuff, because you get a visual look in full color of where the infrasounds come in, and you can focus in on certain things that you would not normally hear with your ear. And this way you can raise it up the volume, especially with EVPs and this type of stuff.
Mhm.
So Sonic Visualizer, it's free. You should
So, Paul,
definitely
can you send that to Randy?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, send it to him if you would. That'll be fun to analyze. That's when everybody gets evidence. I'm like, send it to me.
Yeah.
I like taking it apart. I like finding out what it is. I will like to explain it if I can. If I can't, well, I'm like, oh, good catch. That's what it is. And Rob, you did fantastic with the dowsing rods.
Oh,
You did awesome with the dowsing rods. You know what? The more you use them, I think that may be your tool.
Yes.
I think that that's what you should always use, because a lot of people have their particular item that they use a lot because that's their favorite thing. That's what's good for them. And that may be yours.
Yeah. Well, Natalie also, you used them, right? And you got you had a couple places were dead areas. We were under that wire, right? But you got some cool responses too earlier.
Yeah. Up in the clown room.
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course.
Yes, the clown room. That clown is something else. Oh my word.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it was very clear. It was a doctor. And we were asking questions, and he was very adamant that we were interrupting his patient care.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like, do you like the clown being here? And he said, no. I said, would you like us to tell the owners of the property or who manages it that you would like for it to be removed? And he said, yes.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, he was the typical doctor. Like, this is how it's going to go. This is what I need. You're interrupting me. I've got my patient care, but he just feels responsible for the spirits that are still there that were his patients, which I thought was very noble. And so yeah, he's just there taking care of his patients.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience.
That was a great piece of evidence. Now I'm just really going to have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really, really cool. So, and then, but that clown, good Lord, that thing needs to be just chucked.
We tried this. We tried to stuff it in BMR's luggage, but it just wouldn't fit. So.
No, he was like 8 foot tall, laying dead on the
with
ground
this
with
nasty face.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean those, but of course that's human creation. I mean.
Yeah, that's they planted it there, but I tell you what, it was planted there, but like Natalie said, it ticked off the spirit of their room. Though they didn't want it in there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So it serves some purpose. Yeah.
So that was good. I thought that was a positive response that, they got their request out. And I'm like, I can't guarantee that it's going to happen, but we will at least communicate that.
It's interesting that they didn't want the clown there.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because of the fact that people who had issues. There he is.
Nasty. Yeah. Oh God, that thing is nasty.
He treated the patient with such respect and regard that they're not clowns or crazy, and they don't want to put something like that in there.
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I have picked that thing up, dragged it around the floor with me.
Come on, no way.
I have.
Oh, come on, Brandi. You should have been there that night. Could have done that.
I did. I picked it up, dragged it around with me. We're just going through.
Did you place it there where we were? Was that
I didn't place it. Well, I may have. Maybe that's where he ended up. I don't know. But he does come with me through the floor. I don't carry him anywhere else. He's just down on the floor. I change his rooms every now and again.
I am just thinking of the after effects of the investigation with Rob sleeping and someone putting the clown in a chair.
Oh my God.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
You would have climbed.
No, it would not have been, Natalie. That would have been awesome.
No, it wouldn't. We're sorry about the window, folks. I'm sorry. Everybody tipping $20. Oh, you would have just.
That just reminds me of the movie Poltergeist, right from the get-go, right there, sitting in a chair. Oh, thanks. Thank you.
I wish I'd have been able to go.
Yeah, next time we've got to go back. We've got to go back.
Yeah. I think that when we get a chance to do something like that, we have other locations that we could possibly do also. But I I want to do it when we're not so exhausted.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we have an all night, we
Yeah.
can do an all night event.
Yeah.
Because things after 3 a.m. get crazy.
Okay.
That 3 to 4 a.m. is where it gets kind of
That's quote
nuts.
unquote the witching hour, right? Is that
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, I just think that's when they decide to
mythical
wake
number
up.
though? There's no
Yeah, I
witching
mean, sometimes they'll wake up a little earlier, maybe 2 to 4, but right there in that section, because when we have events out there, once everybody starts leaving, then it gets crazy.
Mm.
And it's usually after 1 o'clock, usually about 2 to 4 is when it gets kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So they're just
Wow.
feeding off of the energy that was there.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, they're gone. Now we can play. We're good. And that's kind of what it is. But that place, like Greg was adamant about seeing something in the
Oh.
daytime.
And really
He
quickly too,
was.
really quickly, Natalie, did he not mention that again at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, see what I mean?
And Bryan, didn't
Mm-hmm.
you see something over there that night too when we were sitting in the driveway?
Mhm.
When you all came back, I'm focused because I was seeing the lights. I heard the sounds. And actually, when you guys came back earlier, Paul and I were definitely hearing something that sounded like a vocalization, but not like a Bigfoot, a little bit more on the Dogman side. And it's kind of like looked, and I'm like, yeah, I got that. But at night when we were there, I clearly saw there was somebody walking across the top, that topmost room.
The red light.
And at one point, they did the peekaboo out the window. I'm like, there's somebody in that right there. I watched it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was kind of explaining this to everybody. The buildings are sitting in a valley, and it's kind of like a bowl. It's like a bowl all the way around, and it's sitting in this valley type thing. So when you hear a sound, sometimes you can't tell where it's coming from. You think it's behind you, but it could be across over on the other side. It's just bouncing off the ridges out there, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know roofing sounds because I've made them and I've heard them from afar. And I know what you're talking about because where I used to do some construction work was in a wilderness portion of Connecticut, and you have mountains and whatever. And there was some knocks that were definitely they weren't construction based. There was something else going on. And then after finding what Natalie and Paul came on, I'm like, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that was crazy.
Most people don't realize Bigfoot isn't the only one that does tree knock. And the Dogman will do a tree knock. Other things will do tree knocks too. So you may be thinking Bigfoot, and then you get a nice big surprise.
Yeah.
And it's not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
right. Exactly.
So
And we still don't know what we're dealing with out there. We don't.
No.
There's
I would love to spend time out there and just be in the woods.
You know what? That place has got paranormal and cryptid activity for sure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it also has UAP activity as well.
yeah.
We couldn't do much sky watching, of course, because of the storm and the but you get out there on a clear night and you're just absolutely amazed by everything.
I was hoping because I've conducted several what they call CE5s, and I've brought in craft. Every time I've run it, I've brought in craft.
Nice.
And it's not a boast or trust me, as an investigator, when you have a craft that comes in, we go, holy shit too. Okay. Like, oh my God. I've brought them in. I have a couple of buddies down here that want to experience it. So I may be trying to do something down here in the state of Florida. I've seen more UFOs down here in like a 1 month period than any place else. It's insane what I've been catching, but I wanted to go up into the Ocala area, and it's a lot quieter, and conduct a CE5 and bring something in.
Yeah, there's great.
But it would be great in your area. Missouri is fantastic for that.
Oh,
I found it creepy.
Can't wait to go back to Missouri.
Yeah.
Because I got a bunch more places to show
Monday,
you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only done paranormal, so the stuff that you're talking about, I cannot wait to get into it and learn.
Oh, I can't wait for us to go out.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Monday after everybody left, Leo and I were walking around there, and we heard the knocks again, and we saw that 18 and a half, 19 and a half, whatever inch footprint outside the wood tree line there.
Yeah.
And we saw another one behind it too, but it wasn't as deep or anything. But seeing that, and that was my first I guess encounter with a cryptid or whatever you want to call it. I am so pumped. I want to get back out there. I want to get in those woods now. I mean, I was so
now
bummed
you're
that
in
I
it,
was
Paul.
in shorts.
Now
and,
you're in it. All right.
Yeah.
You're
All
hooked.
right.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah.
now. I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes one footprint.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All you need, but that
like,
print
oh,
that you
that
caught was one
was
fresh.
amazing.
Yes.
And two, one of the things, I mean, I zoomed in on it and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly. I mean, because I saw the tri pattern. I've seen this before in my own, and I saw the nail marking and I'm like, you have a Dogman there. That's why if you have an iPhone 12 or newer, you have LiDAR. And you were talking about plaster. I use an app called 3D Scanner. I believe it's free. It may be like $2.
Okay.
You don't need plaster anymore. You just put your phone on that 3D do a new scan, and you just go back and forth, and then you print that thing out wherever you want, and then you can pour your own cast anytime.
Cool.
So it saves you a lot of water and powder.
Yes.
And that was way too wet to actually cast out there.
Yeah,
So.
It saves you a lot of backpack room.
Yeah.
Yes, big time. You just need batteries.
There you go.
Big batteries.
So it was so awesome, and I was so happy that Paul got to experience that, and then now he's hooked.
Yep.
But I will tell you that's really cool to see that during that time. Nice fresh print and the three toes, right, Brian? Those 3 toes, the 3.
That was a tri-toed print.
Tri-toed print. Yeah, that's awesome.
It looks just like if you look at the Dogman prints from my presentation.
Yeah,
it's not as sharp on some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are massive, but that's what it's a 3-toed print.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know what we're kind of looking for now. I mean, we're narrowing it down little by little. It's just an amazing area, and like I said, I still don't know 100% what I'm dealing with out there. So it's a work in progress, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah,
it is.
It really is.
And that was. I'm sorry, Natalie. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's why we go out and we explore to see what else is out there, and let's document everything and support one another, and just share information and build each other up and support one another to the nth degree. So
absolutely.
And for me personally, I've had a lot of paranormal experiences that I just fell into that happened to me without looking. I got to tell you though, when we went on that investigation in MAS Village there, number one, I knew I'd love it. I just knew that. But to actually physically be a part of it and hold those dowsing rods and ask those questions and get what we got first time ever doing it, that I'll never forget. That was like totally like, wow, this is creepy, crazy, cool.
Well, I think we hooked Rob into.
Yeah.
He's going to be our next paranormal investigator. He's hooked.
So any final thoughts?
He's asking for it. He's asking for it.
I guess in my own weird way. Any final thoughts? We're over our time, but it doesn't matter. Any final thoughts around the board? Mary Lynn, what's going on? So you're now into the cryptid scene now.
I am looking forward to it. Yes.
Very good. And you got a new
tell everybody about the podcast.
I actually sent the logo over to BMR, and it is the 4 blondes and what is it?
One mystery at a time.
One mystery at a time.
4 blondes and one mystery at a time podcast.
Yes. So we've got a lot of stuff that's going to be happening coming up, and just learning a bunch of different things in different areas, and it's going to lead to other things coming up.
Yes, it is.
Yep. I'm also a part of Lost Goat Productions. So we're out there filming, and our next season is going to be Pair with the Normal season 2. And then we're also starting a new season, or actually starting a new series, Permanent Vacation.
Did you say Lost Goat?
I want that.
Yes, it's Lost Goat Productions.
Funny because Brandi and I were driving around Missouri, and I was going to take on some goats, but we didn't have a chance.
I'm stopping next time. That's it.
You know?
So Mike and I are actually talking about maybe bringing a little goat with us on the road as we're traveling, so it'll be our little mascot. So it has to be a little miniature goat.
Yes.
Oh, if you want sleep, I don't recommend.
Right.
You know, or a clean smelling car. Either way. I mean,
that's the only holdback. Is like I do.
They eat everything.
They wear diapers, but it still smells. I'm just saying.
And I don't want to have to. I've already changed enough diapers.
That's right. We're done with diapers. No diapers.
Natalie, any final thoughts?
Well, I have to say this was a great last weekend. Was amazing. So excited for the Four Blondes podcast, continuing, Paranormal Among Us. Also, with Relic Films, we have The Vanish coming out in January, so be sure to take a look at that.
Paranormal Paul, what up?
I just want to thank you guys for an amazing weekend. A lot of firsts for all of us that weekend. It was just truly amazing. It's something that I think we all needed, and I can't wait for another one like that. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah. Mr. Bowden.
Yes, sir.
Final
no, I
thoughts.
just had a great time, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and love to investigate with you guys, because everybody brings a little flavor to the the stew, and it's great, and there's some hijinks which makes it even better.
It's not a bland stew, I'll tell you that.
No, it's not a bland stew. It's like a really good chili, and whatever it is, and it's just a good time, and I'm looking forward to more and doing more. And I mean, it's quiet out in Missouri, but it's we'll be visiting it.
Dearly
not when we were there.
No,
definitely not when we were there. So
especially at the
I was loud and proud when everybody was there.
So let's see, Brandi, my boo. Any final thoughts too from you?
I am looking forward to all of the stuff that we have coming in the year ahead. Some things that we have not even discussed or planned, but we know they're coming, and we're just super excited about all the projects and everything. So everybody, stay tuned to everybody's channel, because we're all doing new and exciting things. And I'm just, like I said, I'm super excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. We got a lot of new things coming down the pipe, projects, this, that, and the other. 2026 is going to be a heck of a good year, I think, for all of us. Looking forward to it. I just want to say I'm so grateful that I met all you folks for the first time. People that, I tell you what, I will say this for the last time, then we're getting on to other things now as far as the conference goes. We must have had a record amount of people that follow us show up for this thing. And I got to give them a big round of applause, because everybody was from like the chat room, subscribers. It was amazing. And, that's a good feeling, right? So they showed up, they showed out.
Makes it all worth it.
Yeah, it really does. Who cares about the sleep? You sleep when you're dead, right? We had a lot of fun.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. So this was a great show. Bryan, everybody, thanks for coming on in.
Thank you.
Today is Saturday. Yes, go Lions tomorrow. Playing the Browns, 1:00. I had to throw that in there.
Lions.
And so I'll be back on the air Monday. So I think Brandi, you guys aren't on Sunday, are you?
Randy is in Mineola doing a whole ghost weekend, so I don't think he's going to be back in by tomorrow evening. We may not have a show on Truth or Tinfoil.
Okay. Oh, I just remember Monica changed her time. She's now on Sunday nights.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Central.
She's on Sunday. Bryan Bowden, our Third Eye Live. What days you on, brother?
It's Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Knights Templars, treasures, Jesse James, and secret societies. So it should be fun. And I'm sure Missouri is going to be mentioned in that. So
Jesse James.
You may be looking for treasure at the next one, folks. Yippee-ki-yay.
Right?
I'm not sure.
I'm down for that.
I don't know what I going on next week. I haven't even looked at the calendars. I'm sure I'll be on. What it is, who knows? We'll find out.
And the super chat will be open, folks.
Super
Yes.
chat will be open.
Open.
Got to pay for that CPAP machine. Yeah.
I don't know about this now. I'm all worried. I'm going to die in my sleep. I'm going to die in my sleep now. I think. I don't know.
Go see
No,
the
you're
doctor.
not going to die in your sleep.
I know.
No, just got to go see the
just
doctor.
being morbid. Josh Turner's on 8:00 tomorrow. Thanks, Josh, for coming on in. Paranormal Roundtable. Subscribe if not already. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Nelly for showing out.
Josh Turner's there.
Thank
Bringing
you.
some of your people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, thanks to everybody. Oh, and thanks to Josh. You got me some Alliance hats. Cool Alliance hats from Josh. And
Yeah, he even wore it last night on the Blondes
I
and Booze
did
show.
wear it,
He
Josh. I
wore-
wore the
he
Alliance hat.
did.
And he also sent me a Texas hat, fittingly enough. Yes.
And
Thank
we
you for
both
that.
wore our Texas hats last night.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we had our Texas. I wore my Texas hat last night, Josh. Yeah. So thanks for that, buddy. Thank you to you and Nelly. Great show. I got to find. You know what we don't have anymore? We got
An
rid of
extra.
an extra because it was a Crossing Realms conference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what this is. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Oh shit.
Gotta hit the button.
And we're still on.
Yeah, see, this is all screwed up. Is this still ended?
It's the oops reel.
Is it still on?
Yeah, we're still on there.
Good
Good night,
night.
Rob.
I can't turn it off.
I got it.